BC Conservative MP Ed Fast is coming out swinging against his leader, Andrew Scheer. It comes as more and more Conservatives are calling for Scheer to resign, to step aside for the good of the party. Of course, after their humiliating loss 5 weeks ago in the federal election. CTV's Michel Boyer is standing by in Ottawa with more on the story. Ed Fast making a pretty bold move here, Michel. What are we learning?
Yeah, the knives are out. Politics, a blood sport, Todd, and it is not looking good for Andrew Scheer. Ed Fast coming out and saying he basically refused a role in Andrew Scheer's shadow cabinet. Take a look at a statement that he put out. He says, Mr. Scheer and I recently had a conversation about where I could fit into his shadow cabinet, and I expressed my desire not to be included at this time, period. Next sentence. Mr. Scheer is entitled to surround himself with a team that fully supports his leadership. So read between the lines here. Ed Fast saying he does not fully support Andrew Scheer's role as leader. We do know it has been a very tough week for Andrew Scheer on a bit of a listening tour, talking about what worked and what didn't. Now, we did receive a message or a statement from Andrew Scheer's team thanking Ed Fast for his contributions, particularly on his work as the Shadow Minister for Environment. Also helped plan the Conservative Environmental Plan, the Environment Plan. Some say it wasn't really a plan at all, even some Conservatives. But nonetheless, Andrew Scheer's office saying that Ed Fast is going to continue is going to continue to serve the Conservative caucus, but in different ways. But Todd, the gloves are off here. It is not looking good for Andrew Scheer, especially with this first public statement of basically non-support.
That's right, and perhaps the first of many. We'll have to see. Any indication sort of what led to this? What was it, the election? Was it the decision by Andrew Scheer to say, no, I'm staying on here? And now as you know, this website launches, conservativevictory.ca, and other top-level Conservatives coming out and saying it's time for you to go. What was behind Fast's decision?
That's a great question. I put that question to Ed Fast's office and an outright refusal to go into any more detail. They did not want to give this any more oxygen than it's already taken. They also don't want it to go any further, so much so that Ed Fast not willing to do any more interviews on this topic. So they're leaving this statement out there hanging. And I really think the key words here are Mr. Scheer's entitled to surround himself with a team that fully supports his leadership, period, full stop. You know, Andrew Scheer, the campaign was very difficult. There's a review going on into what happened. The listening tour continues. Andrew Scheer heading to the UPC conference in Alberta, going to be speaking there, going to be getting feedback, obviously. But a lot of Conservatives, you know, saying that the campaign was poorly managed from the center. Decisions were not made properly. I did not communicate effectively on issues of LGBT rights, on issues of abortion, on issues of his religious views. And so that only provoked more and more questions throughout the entire campaign, basically taking control away from the Conservatives. He could have just been straight up, had the leadership to overrule his staffers and the messages that they wanted to put out there. And Andrew Scheer could have said, listen, I would not support an abortion in my family, but I'm not going to take the rights away. You know, eventually he did that, but it was ambiguous, I should say, for so long, and it really, really hurt the Conservatives, particularly in Ontario.
CTV's Michel Boyer with the latest here. Thank you so much for this, Michel. We'll see how it plays out.
You bet. Thanks, Todd.